We thought we'd come here, stay a couple of years and see how things played out. Well, we're still here.
Ever since rolling into Council Bluffs in 1970, Warren Weber has been making an impact as an educator, volunteer, and community advocate.
I think it was my second year in college, and education seemed of interest to me. I had done some volunteer work when I was a freshman in college, and I liked it. And I thought, well, this might work, and it did. I'd been a teacher, I'd been a curriculum person, I'd been a director, and then when I got to the building, it just all came together and said, you know, this is where everything connects.
Warren retired from the Council Bluffs Community School District in 2002 after a total of 29 years.
This is a picture of when I first came and I was standing in the office.
His final 8 as principal of Thomas Jefferson High School.
Everything I've learned, everything I had experience with, this is where it all fits together with the teachers, the curriculum, and the students. And if it happens here, it'll be to everybody's benefit. And I felt like we had some success at pulling people together and working in kind of the same direction and feeling like, okay, everybody's closer to being on the same page, trying to get the same things done with students, no matter whether it's a science classroom or a social studies classroom or a physical education classroom.
Warren had 3 assistant principals at TJ, including Judy O'Brien.
You know, it was probably one of the best times in education that I had working with Warren. He was just a good coach. He was a good listener, and he listened to what I had to say and then tried to move me to the next level. And I saw him do that with students and with other people too.
Some of the teachers that I worked closely with at Abraham Lincoln, that was another remarkable group of folks that I learned from. Once I retired from the Council Bluffs schools, I kept working for about 10 more years as I contracted with the Iowa Department of Education. And I spent time helping with the training of principals on how to evaluate teachers. There were some new rules, some new procedures, new criteria. So we organized efforts across the state, including Southwest Iowa, to get people to those teaching standards and say, here's what you look for.
An educator through and through, Warren continues to serve our youth as a longtime teammates mentor.
He and I have worked together the last 6 years. It's enjoyable to watch him progress from 6th grade to being almost ready to graduate, but we're not done yet.
The same can be said of Warren's legacy. He gives his time and expertise to a number of community-driven initiatives and organizations, including Mercy's Patient Advisory Council, Southwest Iowa Education Foundation, Children's Square USA, the Iowa West Foundation, and Leadership Council Bluffs. Warren is a graduate of Class 4. Lori Shields met Warren while she was participating at Leadership Council Bluffs, Class 24.
I don't know that you can measure the impact Warren has had in our community. He has touched so many people in so many areas through his volunteer work, his community service, and his education. His impact has been immeasurable.
I think he just has that altruistic quality about him, that he really cares about other people and really wants to nurture and have them be successful. And I think that transfers into really everything that he does.
He is one of those people who continues to give without asking for anything in return. He's just a great asset to our community and continues to give and put into it without expecting stuff in return for himself.
I like working with kids, students at a high school level, any level, just to watch them grow out of what they have been and into something they can be.
Congratulations to our 2019 Mercy Heritage Award winner, Warren Weber, for your dedication and commitment to education.
I talked to Tom a couple of weeks ago when he made the comment about Marie being his nurse. And then I talked to Marie and she said, if he needs a hospice nurse, I'm willing. I have no idea what she meant. My thanks to the CHI Foundation and Mercy Hospital Charitable Council. And a thank you to Abby and Lisa and the Ottos for all the work that's been done for this evening. And my thanks to my family, Chris Weber and his family, Sarah Gears and her family, and also some of Marilyn's family are here tonight. Her brother, Alan, and her sister, Marlo, and part of their family and friends. And my thanks to Lori Shields for getting me into this and letting me be involved with the Leadership CB program. She has taken the leadership for that. And especially to my friends at First Congregational Church. We are a small and faithful group. We invited Cousin Eddie, but he didn't show. In June 1970, Marilyn and I drove into Council Bluffs for the very first time. We had no idea where this city was until we looked it up on a map because they had job vacancies. We had resigned our teaching jobs in search of a larger city, and by the time we arrived for the interview, those of you who were here some 50 years ago may understand. Marilyn was in tears. Where have you taken me? And of course, I was no help. My empathetic response was, stop crying, they have a vacancy for both of us and we have to do the interview. At least I didn't tell her to buck it up. We left that day with an offer for each of us, and our response was, can we call you back tomorrow? This was June, and it was the best offer we had, so halfway back to Des Moines, we thought, what the hell were we thinking? So we were on the phone the next morning, and we've been here ever since. Some of you knew Marilyn. I'm sorry. For 47 years, we were married and worked with one another and our family in whatever the circumstances. She was as much a part of everything you've heard and that you've read as I was. And if you look in the program, she was all of those things. And she loved the music and dance. And the care and support that she received at Mercy and at the Hematology Oncology Clinic before she died was helpful to her and her family. And people has helped us in so many ways. In 1972, August, we were notified that we had a 6-hour window to come and meet our first child. He was our first adopted child. So we had to be from Council Bluffs to Sioux City that afternoon. We thought this was going to take place in December. We had nothing. A woman named Verna Thomas, Donna Leach is here tonight, who worked at Beano's, helped us with every choice we made, because if it wasn't for Verna, that boy wouldn't have had a thing to wear or a blanket to sleep in or anything his first night. And I met her again last year, and I asked her if she remembered. She said, yes, I do. You were such a nice couple, and you really needed so much help. Another reason to call Council Bluffs home. Karen's husband, Jerry, died the same year as Marilyn. And Karen and Jerry and Marilyn and I had been friends through our church and our community for a number of years. So as we shared and supported with one another in difficult times, it became apparent to both of us that a lifetime of love that lasts can happen again. And she also loves to dance. So what the two of us today is, what we share is a gift, including the newest grandchild, Mr. J.J. Murphy Morgan. And our job is that JJ knows Jerry in every way possible. In February of '94, there was a vacancy at Thomas Jefferson High School as principal. I was told, you're going to go be the principal tomorrow, and then we'll decide from there. I knew within a week that I wanted to stay, and I stayed for 8 years until I retired in 2002. It was, of all the things listed in the program, the best job I ever had. It was amazing. There was Michelle Madden, Judy O'Brien, John Neal, and Kyle Forney, who were all part of the leadership team. And Michelle Madden was our building secretary, the rest were assistant principals, and Michelle was smarter than the rest of us combined. So everyone in the building got to know each other, work in partnership, and people like Deb Goodman were instrumental in our success. Thank you, Deb. We made a difference. So in important ways, this is a very different city than it was in 1970. People like Tom Hennepin, Doug Goodman, Sister Claudia, and hundreds of others over the last 50 years have provided leadership, effort, and resources to make this city what it is today, and it's not done yet. Given my own involvement in the community in the last 10 years or more, it's more apparent now than ever that the kind of leadership and effort that it needs to shape and grow a city. We are staying. Thank you for being here tonight, for supporting the staff at Mercy Hospital, and thank you to everyone who's here.
I think I first met Warren probably in about 2003, maybe 2004. I didn't realize you were retired by then. I mean, that just goes to show, I mean, I've known him for 15 years, and that's how much he has continued to give to the community. Met through Leadership Council Bluffs. He has just been a stalwart in the community in so many different ways, volunteering. So Warren, it's been my pleasure to know you, and I'm very happy for you to receive this award.